Monday. What up, peoples? We starting on time. 6 o'clock. What up, everybody? It's Monday. I hope your week started out great. My week started out pretty good. And today we're just gonna have it's gonna be a chill, kind of relaxed day. I know a lot of times I come to you guys, hit you guys with a bunch of knowledge on Monday. We're not gonna do that today. We're gonna chill, gonna have a little nice little chat, chill vibes. You guys can ask questions if you want. We're doing a question and answer tomorrow. Um, Isaac, that's the quickest way not to get a follow back is to tell me I need to follow you back. But at the end of the day, I'll consider it. Um, but anyway, I'm excited. It's Monday. How are y'all's Mondays going? Type in the chat how your Monday's going. Tell me what you guys did. Tell me how it was. Tell me if it was bad, if it was good. If you had a bad day, you had a bad day. Um, Matthew Newborn says we need to do a session together, man. Yeah, let's do a session. We'll have to do we'll do a weight session together. Let's do that. That'd be cool, actually. We should do a weightlifting session together. If you're in Lexington, hit me up. I'll take you to the gym. I'll put you through a crazy workout, and we can document it. So that'll be fun. But yeah, man, I just wanted to get on here and just chat. I've been really busy with a lot of stuff. This morning, I actually was at a marriage conference, which was really nice. Me and my wife got to attend the FCA conference for Central Kentucky, and it was fun, man. I got to learn a lot about what God expects from us in a biblical marriage. So that was really good. It was really eye opening. Just some of the things that I learned. I think one of the biggest things I learned is, um, if something doesn't come naturally, then you need to be intentional about it. And I think, I'm always intentional with my track and field stuff, but it's like, man, how could I be more intentional in my marriage? What can I do to, you know, really make my wife feel appreciated, feel loved, and to continue to bless her, like it says in the Bible to do, like biblically to do. So I just got challenged, man. I got challenged a lot. And I think um, with things that are said, whenever you get challenged, it's like if your spirit fights against and it's biblical, then it means that that's an area that the Holy Spirit is trying to get into that probably you have locked off, or you don't really want the Holy Spirit to get in your mess, but He's trying to help you become a better Christ follower, a better person. He's trying to help you become a better husband, a better spouse, whatever the case may be. So there were a couple of times where, for me, this morning at the marriage conference, I was tested and challenged, and I'm looking forward to putting that um, into practice. Really, um, doing things better in my marriage. So, I'll answer a couple of these questions. Someone asked me what I clean. I don't clean at all. So I don't even do snatches, cleans, anything like that. So that question's kind of irrelevant. But yeah, I'm not doing that. What kind of mental do you have during the season, and what does it have to do with being intentional? Man, Marker Steins. I'm gonna answer this very broad, Marker, because I think that you have to be extremely focused during the season. I mean, when I get 2 weeks out from a competition, like I'm very locked in on what I do. When I hit the track, I'm very locked in. I'm focused. Like there's not a lot of playing. There's not a lot of, joking around. Like I'm really locked in. But if you really want to know like the tips, tricks, like mental stuff that I actually do, there's a great podcast and it's called Defeat is Optional. And it's actually a podcast that I do. I release an episode every Monday, and I've been doing that for the last 11 weeks. So there's 11 episodes that you can go listen to and catch up on, but I have about 3 episodes specifically talking about mental preparation, how to get rid of limiting beliefs, so you can focus on race day, and whether you're a coach or not, you can always use those things to help your athlete or yourself. But if you go and listen to Davita's Optional, it's a fabulous podcast produced, hosted, written, scripted by the one and only Ronnie Baker. Okay. So I would go there and listen to some of that stuff because it will literally give you the answer to that question. Um, Matthew says he was training with Strobus. Yeah, Strobus is a great guy. He's up in Arkansas now. So okay, this was a good thing. So someone asked me about what do I think about Kishane Thompson's opener. And you know what? I was just looking at it. I hadn't watched it or anything yet, but I was like, you know what? Why don't we just why don't we just do like a live reaction to it? So let's just live react to it. I gotta find the video first. I'm sure it's all over YouTube, but yeah. Why don't we do that? Why don't we just live react to this real quick? And oh wow, I am reading chat. I didn't realize I could do that. I just did something new on my stream. Um, but anyway, I am reading the chat, guys. But someone asked me about Kashane Thompson. Kashane Thompson's opener, and so why don't we just live react to it right now? Let's just do it. All right, let me click on this one because I was watching this. All right, so this is Kashane Thompson, who, if you guys didn't know, I mean, most of you guys do know, he is the silver medalist, 100 meters, right behind. He came behind Noah Lyles this past year in the Summer Olympics. So it's his debut season or debut, I guess, race for the 60. I guess this is his first one of the year. People were saying that this is also into a headwind, which is kind of crazy. But I haven't seen the official results, so I don't know if it is. But let's just watch this real quick and see what happens. Pretty quick. The time here was 6:48, and I think that puts him in the top 5 all time for Jamaican sprinters in the 60. Right, this is here a little bit slow mo. I'm interested. I'm wondering. I mean, he's wearing all black. I don't know if he's in a Nike kit or not, which is kind of interesting to me because he was wearing Nike last year, but it looks like he's not in a branded uniform, which is kind of interesting to me. But was I impressed by this? Absolutely. Anybody that runs 6'4" the first meet of this first race of the season is I mean, it's a big deal, right? He ran 6:48, and that's a huge PR for him. I mean, I think his previous time before this was 6:67 is what it was. Um, so 6:67 to 6:48. Obviously, he didn't run any 60s last year, which he probably would have ran faster, but because he ran, I mean, you can't run 9.7 and probably not run 6.4 unless you've just got some issues with how you're running the race. So, yeah, I was very impressed with this. He looked really strong. I mean, super powerful from the first, 4 or 5 steps going into the 60 meters. So, he's definitely going to be good competition for this indoor season. I don't know if he's going to do a full indoor season or not, but overall, I mean, it's important that we note this. I mean, 6:48 into a potential headwind. Now, the only caveat to that is that he was in, he's in Jamaica, and he's somewhere comfortable. He may or may not have felt like there was a lot of competition in that race, and I think that that definitely does play a role into how fast you run, how you compete. So those are all factors. Will he do it on a bigger stage? I'm sure he will. He ran 9.7 and placed second in the Olympics. The guy's not like he's not probably not going to shy away from big moments or anything. So I mean, I wouldn't see anything happening to that. But um, yeah, I mean, this looks good. Those are my first That was my first thoughts, but I hadn't seen the video. I literally just watched it. I had like clicked on it before this, but then I was like, oh, it's 6 o'clock. Let me get on. So I hadn't watched it, but at the end of the day, it looks solid. We'll see how well he continues to perform throughout the year, and how he does on indoor track. So, because I mean, I don't know how many. I don't know. Don't really know how many indoor meets he's run, but we'll see. This is outside. This is also in a warm environment. Probably got a really good warm up area. It's hot. Um, so there's a lot of factors that are not going to be at play inside. Um, so those are all things to consider. But do I think he'll run fast? Absolutely. I think he'll run fast. He'll definitely be someone on the radar to beat. So yeah, there's that. So someone asked me about how I felt about it. That's how I feel. Um, how is my training going? My training's going well. Um, I so today I ran actually one of my fastest 60s of the year, which was great. And I felt like I wasn't really trying super hard to do it, which was cool because at the end of the day, like I felt like if I wasn't trying hard and I ran fast, and that's a good thing for me. Um, so yeah, my training's going really well. I'm actually heading out on Sunday to go overseas. I'll be in Serbia is going to be my first track meet. It's on Wednesday next week. So not this Wednesday, but the Wednesday after that, I'll be in Serbia competing, and that will literally be my first track meet of the season. And then I'll go from there. I have 3 more meets after that, and then I come back home. But man, I thought about today, like, how did I really get into track? And I feel like outside of just what I've been doing with the last 6 weeks. So if you guys have been rocking with me for the last 6, actually I think this is week 7. I've been live streaming for 7 weeks. So I've done 21 live streams over the course of the last 7 weeks. I've done 3 a week, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, every day, consistently at 6 p.m. So if you've been here, you've been a part of those. Got to ask questions. You got to pick my brain a little bit, especially on Tuesdays when we do our question and answer. But what I've learned, this is just what I've learned from live streaming. One, that live streaming is not how you're gonna blow up on social media, right? It is a good tool just to be able for me personally to record my podcast because I do put a podcast out every single week. It's been great for that. It's been great to just interact with you guys. I gotten to know my audience a little bit more, which is you all, and it's been amazing. But it's really helped me zone in on what I want to share, what kind of content I want to share. And the reality is that um I really don't want to I really don't want to share a lot of the stuff that I have been sharing. And I'm going to be switching kind of my content and what you guys are going to be seeing and how you're going to be seeing it because I've done it. I've done enough of it now. I know exactly what I want to do. And so the podcast and also these live streams are going to go more towards or they're going to be more focused on my personal stories, not necessarily advice, tips and tricks which um are great, but there will be more lessons that I've learned, and you can take basically the tips, tricks, and stuff from my life and my experience and apply them to whatever realm that you're in. Potential or most likely it'll be sports and track and field. But man, that is kind of the direction that I'm going to be going. So the next couple episodes of my podcast, actually, um, the one I'm releasing next in 2 weeks is going to be very personal. It's gonna be a very personal podcast, and a lot of the stuff that I'm gonna be talking about is gonna be more about my life. So, one thing I wanted to talk about today is just like how did I really get into track and field? Because I feel like you guys know me as the Olympian, as a person that runs really fast. I've been professional for 8 years. I was with Nike, I was with Adidas, like all those details. But like, man, how did I really start running? Like, when did I start? How did I start? How did I get into sports? And so one of the uh, ways, actually, well, I'll say one of the ways I actually got into sport. Well, I was playing basketball, and I loved basketball. That was my passion. Um, that's what I really like. I really wanted to do. I really wanted to play basketball. I thought I was going to go to the NBA. Like that was going to be my path. But when I got to high school, I was playing with the likes of people like Devontae Parker, Quentin Snyder, Keelan Martin, guys that actually went and played professional at some level. Like Devontae Parker played in the NFL for like over 8 years. Quentin Snyder plays overseas now. Keelan Martin plays in and out of the NBA. He's played overseas, played in the G League. These guys that played big time basketball and big time sports. And when I was younger, when I was little, I got onto a basketball team and I played basketball. That was like my sport. I didn't really even start running track until I was in 6th grade, but I did do a lot of cross country. So, cross country is running miles, 3Ks, 5Ks. And I lived in Anchorage, Alaska. And when I lived in Anchorage, Alaska, I got to run cross country, but I ran it through like the woods. Like it would be this huge. I don't know if you guys have ever seen the NCAA cross country nationals, but the NCAA cross country nationals, they start in this like big open expansive field, and then like the whistle blows or they say go, and everyone just starts basically sprinting this straight, and it's really cool to see. That's kind of how it was for when I did cross country, like a bunch of kids running into this wooded course, and it's felt like forever, but it was only like 1 mile. But that's how I started. I placed like I think the first time I did it in the whole state, I placed like 210th place, which is it's not that great. 210. I don't know how many kids were there, but 210. Then the next time I did it, I placed like 11th, so had a big drop. And then I think I placed like in the top 10 to 15 the last time I really like ran it. And so I ran that in Alaska. So you imagine being like super bundled up, like you got hats, gloves, all kinds of things as far as like what you're doing for cross country. And then as I was growing up, when I moved back to Louisville from Anchorage, Alaska, I I started running cross country in middle school. I did cross country from in 6th. I think I did in 6th and 7th grade. I started running track in 6th grade. I remember the first ever 100 meters race I like won, which at that time I wasn't even a 100-meter guy. I was literally gonna run I was destined to run the 400 when I was in high school. But anyway, I remember the first time I won a middle school it was a 6th grade 100-meter race, and it was at Male High School. Anybody know about Male High School? And I think I ran like 13 seconds or something like that. I remember getting a little medal. It was cool. That was in 6th grade. And then 7th 7th grade and 8th grade I ran track. I think 8th grade is when I finally stopped running cross country. But pretty much ever since then, I got to Ballard High. I was trying out for the basketball team, and the track coaches came in to see me run. Basically, they were like, "You have to run track." If like I think I made a deal with the basketball coaches that if I was gonna play basketball, I also had to run track because they saw the potential in me, and so did my coach. And they were like, "You need to go run." So I ended up doing that for 4 years, and that's really how I got into track and field because someone just really suggested that I go do it. Um, but I really wanted to play basketball. Like that was that was my gig, man. I really wanted to play ball because I just grew up doing it. And it's so weird because I was born in Louisville, but I was raised for most much like the earlier stages of my childhood in Anchorage, Alaska, and basketball is not like a big thing there. So the fact that I was super into basketball, I guess that was just my Louisville roots like showing. As I just wanted to play ball. And I knew that when I got to high school, I knew that track and field was going to pay my bills. I loved basketball. I was just talking about this the other day. I was reminiscing about just the playoff games, like the regional games for basketball. And if you grew up in Louisville, like you know that the regionals and state tournament for basketball, high school basketball is like a big deal. Like there were probably more people there were probably more people at our regional basketball game back when I was in high school, my senior year. We played Trinity at Bellarmine. There's probably more people there than there was at the Louisville basketball games last year. I mean, it was packed out. Like it looked like one of those YouTube videos where it's like they're doing like an and one mixtape and you've got people that are like standing on the court like going crazy. That is how our basketball games were in high school. So you can imagine how exciting they were. You're coming out, uh, you hear the warm-up music, you're in layup line. whatever the case may be. It was just a fun time. I just loved playing basketball because I loved just all of those things. And I knew though, as soon as I finished my last high school game, which was a fun game, man. We should have won that game. We should have won that game. The team that beat us ended up winning the state championship. I felt like if we would have won that game, we probably would have won the Kentucky state title that year. But anyway, we're up 12 in the fourth quarter. Going into the fourth quarter, and we somehow lost that game. Oh, think about it. I just want to punch a wall. But anyway, great game, great atmosphere. But I knew after that, I wasn't gonna play basketball at the next level. I knew like my basketball career was over. But I was excited because I knew that I had track to fall back on, and I knew that I was gonna be able to run really fast and potentially win state titles. So yeah, Troy, I'm from Kentucky. Let's go. I'm from Kentucky, man. That and this is exactly why I told you guys after 6 weeks of doing these live streams, I know exactly what I want to talk to you guys about, which is just more about me. I feel like you guys know me as the runner, but you don't know me as Ronnie. What I like, what I don't like. If you guys don't know, I'm married and I have a kid. I have a 17-month-old daughter. Her name is Maya. She is beautiful. She talks a lot and she loves Moana. I've seen Moana about, I kid you not, I've probably watched Moana over 25 to 30 times, probably just this month. Okay. I've seen Moana a lot of times. And we try to limit our screen time, our kids' screen time. And if anybody has any ideas on how to limit your kids' screen time without like making a big fuss about it, then let me know. But at the end of the day, I've watched Moana a lot. I know all the songs. I can sing you the songs verbatim because my daughter loves them. So we watch a lot of Moana. But anyway, uh I I just want to talk to you guys more about just my life. And I'm going to be posting content actually this week that coincides with that because I'm just switching up how I do things and what I want to present to you guys. So if there's anything that you guys want to know about me personally, let me know. Like send me a DM of what you want to know, what you want to see. But maybe it's behind the scenes stuff. Maybe it's just behind the scenes stuff at home. Any kind of content like that, I'm going to be getting more into that. Okay? Uh so that's what we're going to do. So I want to turn this live into a musical. You don't yeah, you don't want to see me sing. I can play you the songs, but me singing probably no. Yes, Matthew Matthew says 18-month-old is definitely a handful. Yes, we do read a lot of books as well. She has a big library of books. Um, so yeah, I think one of the biggest things we do get her out a lot. We do like take her out and like to the to the park and different places, but it's been so cold here in Kentucky. It's like the high today, guys, was 14 degrees. It was 14 degrees. So I mean, you're not taking an 18-month-old outside for like more than 10 minutes. So as soon as she goes outside, she's like cold, cold, cold. She just says cold over and over again. So we'll just take her back in. Oh, who do you guys got winning the national championship tonight? Type in the chat who do you have winning the national championship. Before I say my pick, who do you guys have winning the NCAA champs tonight? Who's winning? Who do you guys got? Ohio State or Notre Dame? Ohio State or Notre Dame? Ohio State or Notre Dame? For those of you guys that are, I guess, stateside that are actually going to be watching, the game comes on in an hour at 7:30. OHIO says Troy the Jet. Ohio. I actually took a visit to Ohio State. Uh, that was one of my visits that I went on. It was actually the second visit I went on. Me and my mom drove up there, and we only went because after going back and forth with them about whether I was going to get a full ride scholarship, they kept saying they were going to give me one. Then they kept saying they were going to give me 90%. Then they said they were going to give me like 89%. It was just back and forth. And I almost told them like, look, I'm not coming up there. And then they said, hey, we're going to give you 100%. So I was like, cool. Like, I'll make my way up to Ohio. But I think that was one of the biggest reasons I didn't go there is because they were kind of flip floppy, up and down, back and forth. And Ohio State was like top, like high on my list because, again, I was into basketball. So, Ohio State was on TV. There's certain teams that you get to see on TV. That was one of them. So that was like I'd never seen TCU on TV. So I was like, I don't know about TCU, but they were the ones that offered me a full ride scholarship. And ultimately, I love the coach, and I looked at exactly why. You know what did the school have to offer? Who were the coaches, and what were the kids? How were the kids performing? Okay. So that was why I went to TCU. But everyone's got Ohio tonight. I think Ohio's going to win too. I really do like Notre Dame, though. I like the coach and just what he stands for, how far they've gotten. So I feel like I'm going to be torn between who I'm cheering for. I think I won't know who I really want to win until I start watching the game. Because once you start watching the game, then you start to pull for certain teams. You start to be like, oh, they got a first down. Yes, excited. Then you'll know who exactly you're cheering for. But I don't really have a dog in the fight because TCU's not in it. And uh yeah, Louisville or Kentucky's not in it. So I don't got a dog in the fight, but I just want a good game. I don't want it to be like the TCU game when they play Georgia. That's a boring game. I want a good, exciting game. That's what we want. That's what the playoffs, that's what the championship's all about. Is good, exciting football. Okay? So everyone's got Ohio. I think Ohio's gonna win too. So but anyway, man, it's been about 30 minutes. I know I've just kind of rambled today. Today was, I've really been focusing on really um trying to be more present with my family. I've had a lot of stuff going on. I've been doing 3 lives a week. I do a podcast once a week. Um, I'm on the advisory board for FCA, which is Fellowship of Christian Athletes. If you guys don't know about that, I'm on the advisory board here for Central Kentucky. I've just been running around. I'm thinking that I'm going to launch an online community very soon that is going to be centered around helping people like you guys improve in their sport, become, um, you know, better performers. It doesn't matter what sport it is, but I think I'm going to specifically go for track and field because that's what I do. It's what I love. But just helping people with, workouts, nutrition, all that stuff. But also the biggest focus on that group is going to be deepening their faith with Christ. So I'm thinking about putting that together. I'm actually been doing some behind the scenes work. So I've just been really busy. And today, typically I come and I deliver the podcast today and I talk, pretty something well written, scripted out. But today I just wanted to chat with you guys and just hang out. Just talk a little bit more about my life, tell you guys the direction of where these live streams are going, where the podcast is going, because it's going to be more about the life lessons that I've learned, more of my experience, and less about how to do this and how to do that. Okay. But tomorrow is going to be our question and answer. So if you had a question that I didn't get to today, if you put it in the chat, I'll answer it tomorrow because that's our live question and answer session. Will go at 6 p.m. again. Every day, remember, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, 6 p.m. for the foreseeable future until, I find a different path that I feel like is going to be more productive. But right now, this is the most productive part. So um, I'm ready to travel 713. I'm heading out on Sunday. And again, if you guys haven't listened to the podcast, if you have questions about mental toughness, if you have questions about how to get rid of anxiety on race day, if you have questions about how to attack limiting beliefs, how you can, as a coach, help your athletes do that, go listen to the Defeat is Optional podcast. It's produced, hosted, written, clipped up, everything by the one and only Ronnie Baker. So I put a lot of work into that, and I really appreciate you guys who download it and listen to it. I think it's helped a lot of people. There's been a lot of messages that people have sent to me, and it's been awesome because sometimes when I'm recording this stuff, I don't think it's helping anybody, and I think that sometimes I sound like an idiot. So the fact that it's actually helping people and people are messaging me, if you have any encouraging words, send them my way. Okay, I'm just trying to be faithful what the platform God's given me. But it's at 6 o'clock Eastern, not 6:30, 6 o'clock Eastern tomorrow. All right. Y'all have a good time. Go watch the game. Go cheer for your team. Hopefully it's a good football game and we can talk about it tomorrow. But I will see you all at 6 p.m. tomorrow. Y'all have a good one. Blessed night. Peace out.